Hi, welcome to today's session. Today we will be discussing about some basic commands that is used in Apache Pig. To begin with, in Apache Pig, this is the data model we follow. Here you can see the collection of fields. So each one is called as a field, and the collection of fields are called as tuples, and the collection of tuples are called as bag in Apache Pig. So we normally don't call it as a table, we call it as a bag. So now in this session, we are going to see how to create a bag, how to load the data into the bag, and we are going to see some basic select queries to be used in the bag. So let's go into the practical part. So the initial part that is required is we have to identify the input file. So I have a folder here called as files, which contain the text file employee.txt. So here you can see there are 4 columns: employee number, employee name, department, and salary. Now I'm going to load this file into the Apache Pig. Okay, so here this file is in Windows desktop. So first we have to move this file to the local. So I'm going to move this files to local. To move the files to the local, first I have to create a shared folder. So what is the name of the folder? Here we have the name of the folder is files. Okay, so now we are going to copy this to the local Cloudera desktop. Okay, so we will just create a shared folder. Okay, click the machine folders, click add, and select the folder that you need to share. Okay, the folder is in desktop. The name of the folder is files. Okay, auto mount, make permanent. Click OK. So this is the first step. You have to create the shared folder. Now we will open a terminal. We have to log in as a root user. So to log in as a root user, we have to type SU. The password will be Cloudera. Now here we need to create a directory, because from the folder files we need to copy that to a directory, right? So we have to make a directory. So I will create a directory. Let the directory name also is same as the name of the shared folder. You can give a different name also. To make it simple, I have given it as same name. Okay, now let's check the path here. So I will write pwd to check the path. So here you can see the path home/Cloudera/. So inside Cloudera, I have created a folder called as files. Okay, now I'm going to map the folder which is available in Windows desktop to the folder that is available in the local, that is Cloudera desktop. Okay, I'm going to map the folders. To map the folders, the command used is mount -t vbox sf. You have to give the name of the shared folder. The name of the shared folder is files, and then you have to give the destination. Okay, where is the destination? The destination is in local. The path of the local is home/Cloudera/files. Okay, once you have done, just check whether the folder is mounted. Yes, the folder is mounted. So if you want to check the files are copied, just go to files and then give ls. You can see the file is copied. Now in Pig, actually you have to move the file to Hadoop distributed file system. Okay, so now you move the file from Windows to local. Now from local you have to move it to Hadoop distributed file system. Then only you can load the data into the Pig. So to move this file to Hadoop distributed file system, you have to create a directory in Hadoop distributed file system. Okay, so you have to use the Hadoop commands. So we have to type HDFS, DFS. So all the Hadoop commands will begin with HDFS, DFS. Okay, let's make a directory. So mkdir. So I will call the directory name as files. Okay, so I'll use the same name for simplicity purpose. Okay, I created a directory in Hadoop distributed file system. Now I'm going to copy this file. Which file? Employee.txt file, which is in local. I'm going to copy that to Hadoop distributed file system. Okay, so HDFS, DFS. To copy, you have the command copy from local. You also have a command called as put. Okay, copy from local. From where you want to copy? From the local. So give the path of the local, home/Cloudera cloudera slash employee.txt. From there, you need to copy to Hadoop distributed file system. Okay, so in Hadoop, the path is slash files. Okay, very important. This is a space. There should be a space because this is a source from where you want to copy. This is to where you want to copy. Okay, this is a source and this is a destination. Okay, sorry, the path is wrong. Here, home slash cloudera slash, we created a directory called as files. Okay, so now press enter. Yes, the copy is done. So how will you make sure the copy is done successfully? You have to check the content. Okay, DFS, I'm going to check the content of the folder files. So here you can see the employee.txt file, yes, is there in Hadoop distributed file system. So this is the first and the foremost step. You have to move your data, you have to move your input file to Hadoop distributed file system before you load or create or dump the data into the Pig. Now let's log into Pig. So you can see, just type Pig to log into Pig. So we are logged into the grunt shell. Now there is no create table, such things. Just directly load the data, okay, into the alias name. So you have to give an alias name. So that will be the name of your bag and the data will be loaded into that one. Okay, no need to do any create steps here. Okay, so I'm going to load the emp.txt file directly, okay, into the Pig storage. So let me write employee equal to load. Okay, so load, here you have to give the path of your Hadoop distributed file system where you have your input file. So we have the files inside the folder files. The name of the file is employee.txt, okay, using Pig storage. Okay, and you can see all the fields are separated by a comma, right? And you have to give the name of the columns. So the first column will be the ID, the name of the department and the salary. Okay, done. So to check, you have to use dump employee. So here you can see the content. Okay, our emp.txt file is loaded into the Pig and this is called as the bag. Okay, very important thing, this bag will not be saved anywhere. So it is temporary. Okay, so this alias name that we have given here, for example, this was a previous command we executed. This is the alias name. Okay, so the data will be stored in this alias name and it is a temporary, it is not stored permanently in the Hadoop distributed file system. Okay, suppose you want to store it permanently in Hadoop distributed file system, this one you want to store it permanently, then you have to execute the store command to store this. Okay, so let me show you how to execute the store command. Okay, so I have to write store employee into, okay, here you have to give a new path in the Hadoop distributed file system. So already we created files, right? So inside files, let me create another folder called as bags, okay, using Pig storage. Okay, so only this command. So what is important here, see, this is not stored permanently. Okay, it's just an alias name. The alias name for the bag is employee and it is not stored permanently. So if you want to store the content of this table permanently, then you have to use store command. Okay, store the name of the bag into, you have to give a new path in your Hadoop distributed file system, okay, to store the data. Now when I press enter, you can see the data is getting stored in the Hadoop distributed file system. So to tell you how many records are stored, so here you can see 4 records are stored, and it's telling the path where the records are getting stored. Okay, now if you want to see the content of this one, just we will open another terminal. Okay, so here you can go to the path here. So I will write HDFS DFS -ls. What was the path we created? In files, we created bags. So see the path here. Okay, so this is the name of the table. You can see part -m-00. Okay, see this is the name of the table. So you can check the content of that one. HDFS DFS-cat files /bags/ part -m-00000. Can you see the table is getting, the bag is getting saved permanently in the Hadoop distributed file system? Yes? Okay, so this is how we have to load the file into Pig and store it permanently in Hadoop distributed file system. Okay, if you don't give store, it will not be stored permanently. Okay. Now let's see how to execute the basic commands in Pig. Suppose I want to group the employees based on department. Okay, so you can see the content here. So you have 2 employees belonging to IT department, 1 employee belongs to business, and another one belongs to engineering. So you want to group the employees. So just give alias name. So here you can use any alias name. Okay, so even I can use employee. It will be overwritten. Okay, so here you have an alias name. Just give an alias name and then write group. Okay, the name of the bag. Okay, employee by, you have to group by department. Dump temp. So you want to bring the similar records together, then you will use group. Okay, I want all the male students as one set and female students as another set, or you want to find all the students whose department is IT as one set. So here you can see IT, how many employees are there? There are 2. Okay, can you see here? It's a set, and you can see this is tuple 1 and this is tuple 2. Okay, if you want to group the tuples, then you will use group by command. So there is only one employee in each set. Do you understand? So you will use group when you want to group the tuples based on some column. Okay, this is the basic group by command. Okay, suppose you want to display only some columns. Suppose I want to display only employee number and the department. Okay, then you have to use for each in Pig. So for example, let me select another. I'll use the same alias name, temp. Okay, it will be overwritten. For each employee. Okay, I need to generate sorry, I need to generate. So what are the columns you want to display? I want to display the employee number, okay, and then I want to display the salary. I think the name of the column name, you have to remember what column name you gave initially. Yeah, ID, I gave ID. Okay, fine. So this should be ID. Okay, not employee number, this is ID. Now dump temp. So see the output here. So if you want to display only some columns, then you have to use for each generate. For each, the name of the bag, and generate, you have to give what are the columns you want to display. Okay, very simple. This is to restrict the columns in your output. Okay. Suppose you have a condition. In that case, you have to use a filter. Okay, so for example, I want to display only employees whose salary is greater than 5,000. Then I will use a filter. So I will use the same alias name. Okay, I will write filter. The name of the bag is employee. Filter by what column? Filter by salary. Salary should be greater than 5,000. Okay, then write dump temp. So here you can see the output. Only one employee is having salary greater than 5,000. Okay. So if you want to restrict the number of columns in your output, you have to use for each generate. If you want to restrict the rows, you have any conditions on the row, then you have to use filter. Okay. For example, I want to display only the employees who belong to IT department. Then I have to use filter. Right, there is a condition. If there is a condition, then you have to use filter. So I will write filter employee by department equal to IT. Okay, now write dump. So for every time you see the result, you have to use dump. So you can see the result here. There are 2 employees who belonging to IT department. So you can see every query that you are writing in Pig is getting converted into a MapReduce query, right? And then you are getting the output. Okay, so this is to use the filter and the for each to restrict the number of columns in your output. Suppose for example you have a query, I want to display only the name and salary of IT department employees. So here I have both. I have a condition. Okay, I have to display only the name and salary of IT department employees. So I have a condition. What is a condition? Department is equal to IT. And then I also want to restrict the number of columns. I want to display only the name and salary. So I have to use both filter and for each together. Okay, so first let me write the filter query. So first I will write the query for this one. Okay, so this is a query for this one, right? Filter employee by department equal to IT. Now I don't want all the columns to be displayed, right? I need to display only certain columns. So outside this query, I will write another query. See, outside this query, I will write for each. Okay, for each. Okay, for the result of this one, I am going to write, okay, for each generate. Now what are the columns you want to generate? You want to generate name, comma, salary. Okay. So hope you understand this one. See, you are writing a filter inside. So this will give you only IT department. Okay, so this will give you only IT department. From this, I want to display only the name and salary. So outside I write another query. See what will be the result of this one. The result of this one will be these two, right? From these two, I am going to display only the name and salary. So outside I will write a for each query. For each I will generate name and salary. Now I will write dump temp. So see the output here, you get only the name and the salary. So like this you can combine two queries together. Okay. Okay, suppose I need to group the employees by department. Okay, I want to group the employees by department, but I don't want to display the salary column. Okay, so how will you execute a group by command? Generally group by command will be executed like this, right? Group by employee, sorry, group employee by department, right? Dump TMP. So here is the result. So here you can see the employee, the ID, the name, department, and salary is also displayed along with that. I don't want the salary to be displayed. Okay, I want to group the employees, but I don't want to display the salary along with that. So if you don't want to display the salary, then you have to use for each, right? So if you want to restrict the columns, then you have to use for each. So here you have to use for each and group by together. Okay, so first let me write, so I will write for each employee. What are the columns I need to display? Okay, generate, what I want to generate, I need to generate the ID, the name and the department. I don't want to generate the salary, right? So for this I will do group by. So outside I will write a group by query. Okay, so I will write group. Okay, group this one by which column? By department. Okay, so this will be the query. So inner query, outer query. The inner query is for each query, and the result of that is used to do group by. And then here you have to give the alias name. Now use dump temp. So this is a result here. So here you can see without salary. The employees are grouped but without salary. So like that you can combine the queries by writing it as inner query and outer query. Okay. Now there is one more query is to order by. Okay, either you can order the tuples in the bag either in the ascending order or in the descending order. So mostly the order query, for example, suppose you want to generate the employees name and salary. Okay, so for that temp equal to for each employee generate, I am going to generate the name and salary. Okay, now I am going to order this one based on salary. Okay, so I will make this as inner query. Okay, and in the outer I will write order. Okay, order this by salary. Okay, so if you want to arrange it in ascending order, no need to specify anything. If you want to arrange in descending order, then you have to specify descending, DESC. Okay, now write dump TMP. Here is the result. You can see it is arranged in ascending order of salary. Okay, so what are the type of queries we discussed for this session? One is to load the data directly into the pig. Okay, you have to use load command, very important. The data that you want to load should be in Hadoop distributed file system. So first you have to move the text file from Windows to local, from local to Hadoop distributed file system. Okay, directly load the data into the pig. And then very important, the data will not be stored permanently in Hadoop distributed file system. So you have to store it permanently. You have to use a command store. and you have to give a new path in Hadoop distributed file system to store that bag. Okay. The third command we discussed was to display only certain columns from the bag. For that we have to use for each generate. To display only certain rows, or if you have any conditions, then you have to use filter. Then to group the records based on a particular column, you have to use group by. To order, you have to use order by. Okay, and you can combine these queries like a inner query and outer query. We discussed enough example related to inner query and outer query. Okay, now the last type of query we are going to discuss here is you can also write some expressions in your query. For example, I want to give an increment of 2000 rupees to every employee and display the new salary along with the old salary. Then let me write temp. Okay, so what do you want to display? You want to display a new salary, right? So you will write for each, okay, employee generate. Okay, so what I want to generate? I want to generate the ID, I want to generate the name, I want to generate the department, I want to generate the salary, okay, and I want to generate a new salary. Okay, so for example, I will write an expression here, salary into I'm going to give a 20% increment, so 20, so you can write an expression salary plus salary into 20 divided by 100. Okay, so you will take the original salary and find out the 20% of that salary and add it with that one. Okay, so you can write expressions like this. Okay, then I will write a dump temp. So here is the output. So here you can see you have given a 20% of increment to the employee. So this will be the old salary, this will be the new salary. So you can write any type of expressions in the for each command. Okay, so hope you understood how to execute some basic simple commands in Apache Pig. Thank you for listening.